So this week, with a bit of help from the good blokes at Wottons of Tiverton, we made our way up to the musty Midlands to rescue our Scammell Explorer from Mr. Hughes' compound and bring her back to sunny Devonshire. While up at Joe's, we had a quick browse over his newly 606 watt Land Rover Defender, which is all looking rather smart. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to go for a drive, but I'm sure at some point in the future, when our truck is completed, we'll have a bit of a comparison. We then slung 50p into Wootton's top low loader driver, Harry Van Smoot, and hit the road. Once back in Blighty, we unloaded the old girl at a local show called Honiton Hill Rally, and then we trundled her on home, back to the workshop, to address some of the new opportunities she had recently presented us. So as you can see, the Explorer is home and developed one or two new features, shall we say. Now this weekend there's a show quite local to us called Honiton Hill Rally, which will be the sort of final outing for the year, so I'd quite like to get it up there. Matt's here helping out at the moment. We're trying to get at least some brakes going.
Yeah, I've heard they're useful.
They are nice, aren't they? Yeah.
Good ones.
Yeah, so he's replacing the front lines to the front brakes. We've got limited air anyway, but at least these ones are all disconnected, so hopefully one less air leak and a little bit more stopping power. Naturally, we've got a big flat tyre there, but it's okay because last night I went and picked up some new wheels, big fat wheels, which we'll be putting on later. I'd like to try and fix the petrol leak in the carb there. Move the fuel tanks. The fuel tank is now up in the bed with a new fuel pipe, which will hopefully solve one or two of our petrol problems. It should be much nicer, and it'd be nice not to have the petrol next to the batteries. But the main issue we're dealing with, which has developed since Market Harborough, is this here. So this is the drive shaft that connects the engine. So the clutch and everything's in here, clutch brake, and this drive shaft then connects to the gearbox. And instead of having UJs, they've got these which are called metalastic couplers. So they're sort of big bits of aluminium, I think, with rubber in between. This has lost all of its rubbers, this one. So this shaft is sort of flopping around, and that means you've got no cushioning and it's not held central. So it runs off true, and it's very noisy. Now, I found a couple of handy little rubber blocks, which I'm going to try and cut up and stuff into there, and then put a big Jubilee clip around the outside to hold it all together. So hopefully, if we can get that done, it's not too far up the road, so hopefully she'll make it. But I'll measure these up and cut some blocks up and get bodging. Alright, so I've got a load of chunks of rubber stuffed in there, expertly cut, if I may say so myself. I'm now going to try and put some of these Jubilee clips around it. That one's brand new, obviously, and see what we can do. I've left them a bit longer so they sort of squish in and hopefully wear themselves in and find their new home. Right, well, I call that pretty bloody good. So I put a Jubilee clip around that one as well because we'd lost one lump out of that one, so I stuffed another lump in, put the Jubilee clip round as a precaution. That one is all clipped up. Doesn't look quite as pretty as that one, but hopefully it will get us where we need to go. So I'm now going to try and bodge this carb up again. So this is attempt number 3456 of trying to get this Solex carb sealed up. So I've got the carbon bits here, and I'm just going to try and seal this up a bit better. What I've done is taken apart one of these carbs here, which is an old one we bought with it. It's obviously been sat in the sea for a long time, and I'm just trying to nick some of the gaskets out of it. So I've managed to steal that one because I can't get any new gaskets for this at the moment. So I'm just going to put a bit of seal around this and help it seat, and just see if that's just enough to keep her nice and dry. All right, it's a new day, and we started getting the wheels on last night. We only got those two on because it was getting quite late and the impact gun is rather loud, so we didn't want to upset the neighbours. Our carb is on. Hopefully that's sealed up now, so that's going to be a couple more miles per gallon, I'm sure. What I'm going to do now is just run around, grease up all the prop shafts, etc, etc, chuck some oil back in the engine because I drained the oil out of that yesterday. Then we'll carry on fitting the rest of the wheels once the neighbours are awake, and then we won't be far off hitting the road. So trying to fix our dynamo issue at the moment because we don't have any battery charging. I'm taking off this voltage regulator box, which actually still had the original seal on it, which was quite interesting. But what we need to do is, I think it just needs re-exciting, so it's lost its magnetism because the battery's been disconnected for years. So we're going to try and feed some power back into this DF. Oh, I don't know if we can see that DF lead down here, and that should hopefully re-establish the magnetic field around the dynamo and bring us back some charging capabilities. Good?
That's not a photo.
You filming?
Yes.
Okay. Right, we've got our fresh new wheels on, so we've moved two of the rear Explorer ones and put them on the front, and on the back we've got some general Scammell rims with Martian tyres on it. I've had a little go at welding up my radiator. So hopefully that's now fixed. Dynamo, no idea, but we've had a go. Changed the oil. We've greased everything up, given it a general bit of love. So see if we can get up the rally, shall us? It's only a couple of miles. We managed to find ourselves an off-road section. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Gauge doesn't say it's horrendously hot. That gauge does.
Yeah, that is.
Very interesting.
Did we bring any spare water with us?
No, none at all.
Well, that's good. Let me, oh yes, I'll film you fixing it from up here then.
Yeah. Stay away from that for a minute.
Well, at least you can't hear it leaking air anymore.
Oh, that's true. I love my life. I love my life.
This is like a scene from one of those WaterAid adverts.
Found a friendly farmer.
Nice.
It was quite good because he was about to drive his trailer all the way down here, and then he was going to be very angry when he had to reverse all the way back.
So he's quite happy to exchange that for some
better
water.
Pants. Oh, look, it's pants.
Oh, nice. They're the emergency grab pants.
Yeah, I'm going to go over here. If it explodes that way.
Oh.
Good news.
Good news. What's gone on in there?
No idea. Well, see, it's just full now. I've put that. But I know that more.
I saw more come out of it than that. Yeah. Mm.
Something's afoot.
Oh yes.
After deciding that it was probably just an airlock and it would simply fix itself after some abuse, we fired up the meadows, flipped open the radiator cap, slung in some nice, clean, fresh pond water, and carried on.
Oh, look at that. Right. And then. Doing its job then. Have you walked away from that repair satisfied? Yeah. Yes. Don't see any reason you wouldn't. Circle like Scott.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
As good as the power steering.
Well, you know what they say, there's nothing like coming up the Homerton Hill Rally to let off a little bit of steam.
Once letting her cool off again, topping up the water, and tightening up the radiator cap, the problem seemed to go away. So we then joined the rally's annual road run down to a local watering hole where we all enjoyed some light refreshments.
What's going on here?
No, nothing.
What's that for?
No, no, no.
No, it is.
No, no, no. No, no, no.
Just
No, that's just... No, no, no. Right, we made it back from the rally this morning. With a bit of a beer last night, so I'm not feeling quite so fresh. But in total, we did about 13 miles over the whole weekend. And I thought I'd give you a visual representation of how much petrol this truck uses to do that sort of distance. It's 25 litres, empty. Another 25 litres, empty. So if someone wants to work out that fuel mileage, that'd be very kind. Let us know in the comments. Right, well, we are currently in the middle of the field. We are home, and this was the Explorer's final big outing of the year. So what we're going to do now is take her back over to the workshop, give her a bit of a brush wash off, and then I've got some special oil coating stuff we can put on it that's going to protect the paint and the wood and stop it rusting anymore. If you want to follow me here, so we have now got almost usable brakes, which is quite exciting. Since putting those new air lines on the front, she has started to build up a bit more air pressure, and I think if we fix a few more of the leaks, we might actually get something on the gauge, which is awesome. So we'll work on that later on. Our metallastic coupler has turned back into a metal coupler. That happened about half a mile up the road, so my bodge there was not very effective. That's okay. I think what we need to do with that is get just a prop shaft made for it, but that will have to be over the winter. Maybe we'll go and see the prop shaft guru again, the one making the Daimler prop shaft. But yeah, she's coming together. Get her back over there.
Oh yes. It's funny, the
What's that?
things I'm used to filming are usually look like longer and lower. But they have got even more rust.
I thought most of your content tends to be quite short and sweet.
Behind the scenes. There you go, look.
Right, so we got the Explorer cleaned off and we got some outro oil painted on it. So this is like a rust inhibitor oil. It will dry hard and that will stop the metalwork from rusting, and it will get into the wood behind the paint, stop any moisture getting into it, stop it from rotting. So this isn't where she's going to live. We've got another shed that's a little while away that it's going to have to go and live in because we don't really have the space here. And to do that, we're going to have to drive it there. Now, it's about a 40-minute drive in a car. It's going to be quite a long way for this old girl. So before we do that, we're going to have to go through it a little bit. We're going to service the gearbox, axles, stuff like that. Just get it properly roadworthy. Not that it's not roadworthy, of course, but more roadworthy. And get it up there. And that's where it's going to live over the winter. Now, that's sort of the short-term plan with it. There's 3 plans at the moment. We've got a short-term plan, a medium-term plan, and a long-term plan. The medium-term plan I'm not going to tell you about because that will be coming up soon. Rather exciting, but but I want you to see that as a surprise. What I will tell you is we're going to be keeping the Meadows petrol for now, but we're going to give it our own little twist. It's hopefully going to be more better and more powerful. So that's all for the Explorer for the moment. That's what we'll be doing in the next video, is getting it ready for its big road trip, and then I'll show you the big road trip and us going down there. And then over the winter, from sort of November forwards, we'll start the medium-term plan. Long-term plan all depends on how well the medium-term plan goes, but it would be fitting a big diesel engine in there. But for now, let's see what the mighty Meadows can do. So if you're still watching at this stage, I assume you've followed the channel for a little bit and seen some of the other projects we've got going on. And what I thought I'd do is just give you a walk around the workshop now, see where we're at with everything, and what the plans are moving forward, because we've got a lot going on, and yeah, I just want to keep you up to date with everything. But the main two projects at the moment are Greg's Land Rover, which is all covered up now because we've been doing some welding work on the Daimler, and the Daimler. So the Daimler obviously needs to be ready for Oktoberfest in October. So that's a big rush, and Greg wants his Land Rover back as quickly as possible. So they are the main two we're concentrating on. But obviously we've got a few more sat here. So my Defender is over there. As you would have seen earlier in this video, we went up and saw Joe's Defender, Mr. Hughes' Defender, that Diesel Pump UK have built. And just want to clarify, there's not been a fallout there. Diesel Pump UK took that job on because at the time he hadn't quite finished his Puma kit, so he offered to Joe that he would build his Land Rover for him and give him all the bits if Joe moved his boat and he got to build it and finish off his kit. So I'm sure his Land Rover Defender Puma kit will be available for sale soon, and you'll be able to buy one of those. But my Defender is coming on along slowly in the background. We will be working with Luke and a little bit with Joe to get my Land Rover to where it wants to be, because they've got some parts in the work that I'm not quite sure what's going on, but there's been lots of talking between them and lots of colours floating about. So some big power bits coming for that engine, and the engine is sat in here at the moment. You want to come in here, George? So this is our new engine room, which doesn't have any in it at the moment apart from engine bits. But this will be all decked out when I've got a bit more time, when those projects are finished. And then we'll be in here building up my 606, which is sat here on the floor. If you want to come over here, we've had the head and block have been off to the machine shop. The head's been gone through, lots of new valve seats, it's been ported, and the block's been checked over, honed, crank's been checked. That's not here because I forgot to pick it up, so I've got to go and get that. But that'll be later on. I'll talk through properly what we've done through that when we get into the build. But we've also got some big rods here from Diesel Pump UK and some stiffer valve springs, because we're going to be making many horsepowers.
I mean, you've also got some other high performance parts.
Yeah, they're necessary. Well, that's to do with this out here, actually, funny enough. Our hairdresser car. So this is obviously my MX-5 with the Mercedes M111 engine in it, and in a couple of months I'm going to be very unbusy and then very busy again. So I will, this isn't my full-time job doing this, but in about 2 months it will be. In this workshop, tuning things, making conversion parts and kits. So there's going to be a lot of work to be done on this car to get these the parts we made for this production ready, so we can put some of those up for sale. But we want to get the car tidied up and see how much power that engine can really make, because we've not quite pushed it to its limit yet. Yeah, I think that Peter's SLK as well, so that's still going on. Peter's working on that. At some point we'll go up to Peter's when I'm a bit less busy, and we'll do an update video on that when he's got it all running, and we'll take it to the dyno and get it tuned hopefully and see what that's like. But the aim is to have sort of these Peter's SLK and my MX-5 working together, maybe do some track days with them or some fun stuff like that. But yeah, that's all of it for the moment, I think. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again next time.
What is it?
What do you mean? It's obvious.
Is it?
You must be able to point out some of it.
I've literally got no idea.
Are you telling me my drawing's not immediately jumping out to you?
I'm not the best of state.
What would you guess it as?
Mate, I don't even know.
You think maybe the whiteboard might not be a winner?
I seriously, I mean, it's a very good drawing, mate, but I've honestly got no idea what that is.
My man's been working so hard lately, wants to give me so much more than I could ever dream, but just to hold him close is such a luxury. I have his heart